What's going on, everybody? It's Andy Mattis here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make money online from home, but I'm also going to be showing you how to build a business in not only a way that allows you to sort of make money from home, but also in a way that your business can continue to grow without you needing to be there. Basically meaning that you can obviously work less hours and you can spend time on things that are important to you, whether that's family, whether it's looking after an elderly family member or something like that, and your business continues to scale without you needing to be there. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Andy Mattis. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel and switch on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content that I upload on the channel. So let's dive right into it. And my number one recommendation for you guys to be able to make money online from home is to start a consulting business. So I know what you're probably thinking, Andy, like, what is a consulting business? And it's basically just like an information-based business where you're essentially helping people go from, their current situation to their desired situation. So essentially what you would do is you would find like a problem in the marketplace. So I'm just going to give you a bit of an example of kind of like what I did. When I first got into, the first business that really took off for me in the coaching space was my obviously affiliate marketing coaching business. And a big part of our marketing strategy, a big part of how we were like, connecting with people was tapping into those pain points. So let's just say, for example, that you're like a lorry driver. We all know lorry drivers work really long hours, sometimes have to sleep overnight in lorries and stuff like that. So if you have children, okay, and you're having to work all of these long hours, that means that you are essentially missing out on watching your children grow up, and this can be quite a painful situation for a lot of people to experience, basically, right? So with what I do is obviously with our marketing, we were kind of like putting out a marketing message that, okay, if you start an affiliate marketing business, you're gonna have the ability to work from anywhere in the world as long as you have an internet connection and a laptop. Okay, so this sort of solves that problem from allowing people to then be at home with their children, so they're not having to be away whilst they're working and basically missing out on all of that time watching their children grow up. So I'm just going to give you another example. Again, there are literally thousands and thousands of examples of how people have consultant businesses, but like another one is there are literally people who sell coaching on helping people overcome like porn addiction and stuff like that. And I know sometimes I say this to people and they're like, what, like really? And I'm like, yeah, because like if you think about it, there could be a couple that's been married for 30 years and then all of a sudden their spouse finds out that their other half is watching this stuff on the internet, and that can be quite a painful problem, cause a lot of stress between two people, right? So essentially, if a coach has a solution to teach somebody how to overcome this addiction to stop them from doing it, then essentially that's going to save a marriage, that could have been going for like 30 odd years. Okay, so obviously that's quite a painful problem, and essentially the more painful the problem that you can find, the more people will pay for a solution to have it solved. Okay, there are people out there who have a really high success rate of helping people conceive a baby. Okay, so if you're somebody that's just naturally, for whatever reason, just seems to be infertile and you want a child, obviously that can be quite a painful problem not being able to do that. So if somebody's got a solution, then people will pay a premium to have that problem solved. So the next step for you to be able to make money online from home with your consulting business is for you to basically create an offer. Okay, and in order for you to create an offer, you essentially need to pick a niche. Okay, so you need to select a small group of people, whether that's affiliate marketing, whether that's coaching coaches and consultants, whether that's relationship coaching. You basically need to find one of these like sub markets, and you need to find a painful problem. Okay, so once you've found a painful problem, the next step is for you to basically find a solution to that problem. Okay, so you found a problem. Okay, like how can I fix this? And then you need to just basically sort of sit down and just map out on a piece of paper exactly like what, if somebody was to pay me for this service, okay, now I found a problem. I've also found a solution to that problem. What are the exact steps that I would need to take that person through in order for them to get the end result? Okay, so you're essentially just mapping out, okay, step one is going to be this, step two is going to be to do this, step three is going to be to do that, and you're essentially mapping out what your service is going to be. Okay, and then you also want to take into account how long will it take to fix this problem. Typically, people want this problem solved really quickly. It doesn't matter if people are paying $5 grand, paying 10 grand for this problem. If you can fix it overnight, somebody's willing to pay you 10 grand to do it overnight, rather than pay somebody 10 grand and have to wait a whole year for that problem to be solved. Okay, so if you can solve this solution within, typically the range is somewhere between like 6 to 12 weeks. But if you can solve it even quicker than that, then go for it, man. That's exactly what we want. Okay, so the next step is for you to actually go out there and sell it. Okay, because nothing at this stage, nothing else matters apart from you going out there and bringing on some clients. Because essentially, you can't go in, you can't go out there and just sort of like start making money or start building a business if you have no clients to work with. Nothing else matters at this stage. So many people get caught up on, I need to build a website. They spend months going building this fancy website, and then they don't even know how to get traffic to it. Okay. Just forget about everything else and just go out there and sell your product. Okay, start bringing on clients, start working with them, start getting results, because essentially this is what's going to move the needle for your business. Not a website, not a business card, not some fancy business name or something like that. Okay, so now we've got that out of the way, you need to sort of figure out on a content strategy. Okay, so obviously you're going to need to be putting out content. So you're going to want to figure out exactly which platform it is that you're going to use to do this, and then actually start mapping out a content strategy to do it. Okay, there's so many people out there who perform what I class as just random acts of marketing. If you're marketing on Facebook, I'm sure you would have seen this, people that come up with, good morning post, happy Friday, or there's just constant like inspirational quotes. And whilst that stuff may make you feel good for a period of time, it doesn't really serve a purpose in actually moving the needle forward for your business. And it's just a complete waste of time. So you want to map out an exact content strategy. And like, planning is everything, guys. If you can actually sit down and map out, okay, so tomorrow I'm going to be doing this, this is what I need to do for, planning this content. And the next day comes, all you've actually got to do is just sit down, look at your piece of paper where you've planned out what you need to do, and you just know exactly what you need to do to execute it. You're never sat there, with brain fog wondering, okay, what do I do next? Okay. So now, presuming you have a content strategy in place, obviously you need to be able to sell your products. You need to learn how to sell. Okay, so if you're doing something like high ticket sales, which is what I recommend, you definitely want to learn how to sell. Again, if you don't know how to sell, the best way to do it is to really learn from somebody that's already doing it. So I would say just find yourself a coach that does resonate with you, and then sort of learn from them. Okay, if you're using Facebook as a marketing channel for your business, I just got to put this out there because there's just so much fluff out there like online today. Highly recommend, if you're using Messenger, and if this is what you're doing, okay, it's not your fault if you are, because I know there are people out there teaching this stuff, but if you're using Facebook and you are going into people's Messenger inbox with a copy and paste pitch as like a way to kind of get people into your groove, a way to sell your services, then essentially you need training on how to convert people from Messenger properly. Okay, so I highly recommend, if that's your strategy, I don't mean this in a bad way. Okay, obviously it's not your fault. Like I said, there's a lot of people out there doing that, but there's just such a more effective way of doing it than just going in hot with a pitch. Okay, and I always like to use this analogy of, like, imagine you're just walking down the road, you're minding your own business, and a complete stranger walks up to you trying to sell you something. Like, what are most people going to do? They're gonna keep walking, they're gonna give you some dodgy look, and they're just gonna keep walking, right? So yeah, like, I say this for everyone. Some people just, like, they get stuck on this hamster wheel of refusing to invest in themselves. If you are struggling with in your business, you need a coach. So I would definitely go and invest in one. Okay, so step number 4 is for you to just coach your clients one-on-one until you have 3 to 5 paying clients. Okay, so obviously, as you start selling, as you start bringing on people, typically you're going to be jumping on like a Zoom call or a Google Meet or something like that, and you're going to be just basically doing like a one-on-one call, sort of teaching them, exactly how to, implement this system that you've kind of put together, right? But the problem with one-on-one coaching is it's only scalable so far. Okay, there's only so many people that you can coach one-on-one throughout the day before it starts to take up too much of your time. So there's a little thing that we call, the evolution of a consultant. So typically somebody would go from one-on-one coaching into group coaching, and then from group coaching they would then transition into digital courses and stuff like that. Okay, so yeah, the reason that we say coach one-on-one until you have 3 to 5 paying clients is because often, a lot of the time, when most businesses fail is because people come up with ideas. Okay, they think, okay, this is what my marketplace wants, and they go out and try and sell it, and then they find out it's not actually something that the market wants, and then it essentially doesn't work, right? So what we do is we validate your offer, because the only way to really know if somebody's willing to pay for your service is when somebody actually pays you money. Okay, so once we have 3 to 5 paying clients, we know our offer is validated. We know it's something that our market is willing to pay for. So then we can obviously transition into group coaching, or kind of building yourself an online course. And then yeah, this is essentially called the evolution of a consultant. Okay, so it kind of goes without saying, as I was just talking about the evolution of a consultant, step number 5, okay, is for you to start working on a digital course. So if you're a coach, why is building a digital course something that's important for you to be able to claw your time back? Like I just mentioned, I'll just give you the example of like the one-on-one coaching and how you have to keep showing up. You have to, you have to keep coaching these people one-on-one, and there's only so many people you can see throughout the day. Okay, the difference with a digital course is, yes, it's going to take you a bit of work to actually build the thing out. But once that course is built, your coaching is now automated, okay? You don't have to keep repeating yourself to different people. Like, you can literally sell that thing on autopilot, even whilst you're sleeping, okay, to anybody, anywhere in the world, and all they need is a login, okay? So this now means that your coaching is now automated. You may offer like, a couple of like weekly Q&A calls to help your students as they're kind of going through it. But essentially, this is the first step for you to be able to pull your time back, is to build a digital course and automate your coaching, okay? So now with your coaching automated, obviously, there are other things that you still need to do, right? You still need to obviously market, you still need to create content, you still need to do sales calls, you still need to do, be a messenger talking to people. There's just still like quite a few things that are kind of going on behind the scenes. So step number 6 for you to be able to, make money online, but also pull your time back, so you only have to work, a couple of hours a day, is to start building infrastructure in your business, okay? So what do I mean by start building infrastructure? I'm talking about, hiring a setter closer, okay? So you're going to be hiring somebody who's, capable of doing sales calls for you, but also capable of being in Messenger and setting appointments. So they're going to be setting their own appointments, okay? You're going to want to be sort of maybe sort of hiring like a VA, virtual assistant. So if you're somebody that's using Facebook for your marketing, you may want a VA to be sort of crawling around on Facebook, warming up the algorithm before you actually go and post your content, so that it does get eyeballs on it, things like that. You may want to focus on things like evergreen lead generation, where you are creating pieces of content like what you're watching now for like YouTube videos, which will continue to work 24/7 365, so that lead flow is constantly coming in, right? Okay, so this is what I mean by building infrastructure. We're thinking about how can we go from doing everything ourselves to building a machine where if I felt ill and I had to be bedridden for like 2 weeks, my business wouldn't grind to a halt as a result. It would continue to operate because I have built a flywheel, I've built a team, I've built a structure of people that continue to work without me having to be there. Okay. And then essentially step number 7 is to start enjoying the fruits of your labor, working a couple of hours a day, and, essentially just kick back and really just focus on managing the team and making sure that you have A players and good people on your team. You're training them to the best of your ability. You're creating a good company culture, infrastructure, just a place where people want to be, a place where people want to grow,